broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching NowMedia Television.
Thank you so much, Chris, for joining us today. How are you?
Great, Chelsea. It's great to be here again. And yeah, today, sales acceleration has been in business for about 10 years. We have worked with thousands of small and medium-sized business owners in helping them build high-performance sales teams. And so today I want to talk about the top 10 things companies do that inhibit their growth. And so we see these things over and over again with lots of clients. So I'm going to, again, borrow from David Letterman. We're going to count down in order of increasing importance the things that we see that cause sales to fall below expectations.
Okay, Chris, lots of business owners invest in hiring salespersons and to find sales that they're not growing as they were expecting when they hired the people. Why do you think that happens?
Okay, well, let's start with number 10, not having a weekly sales meeting. And you would be amazed that 50 or 60% of businesses don't do this. And this is a really basic thing. It's not difficult to do, but you should meet with your whole sales team every week for 30 to 60 minutes. Don't talk about individual issues, but talk about issues which affect the group, competitive intelligence, what your competitors are doing, what your customers are doing, key issues coming up, deliveries, things like that affect the whole sales team. And then also spend some time every week with each of your sales representatives with one-on-one meetings. And then come to that meeting, use your CRM system to come to the meeting prepared with how that person is doing with their metrics every week. Are they making the calls? Are they making the emails? Are they making the appointments? How are they doing? What obstacles are they facing both inside and outside the company? And use that time to coach and help your salesperson excel and get better.
Okay, what would be number 2?
Well, we'll get to number 2. Number 9, we're counting down.
Number 9, okay, 9.
So number 9 is ineffective sales training. How many times have you sent your sales representatives off to some expensive course, you spent $10,000 and nothing changed? And this happens a lot. And the reason is salespeople are all different. They have different set of skills. Skills can be learned, but everybody has a different set of needs. So again, spend time with your individual sales reps, travel with them, see customers with them, and that'll give you some understanding of their strengths and weaknesses and areas where their skills could need improvement. And you can do that with one-on-one coaching. Maybe one of them needs help with time management and prioritization, and the other one needs help closing. Another one needs help with dealing with customer objections. Some of these things can be helped with external focused training on their particular needs. Some of them you can deal with as a sales manager and just give them coaching. But again, it needs to be individual. And then role play with them for assessment of their competency and where they need skills improvement. And number 8 is not doing performance reviews. 80% of small businesses don't do regular annual performance reviews. And this is an important time to sit down with your people. And again, if you've been doing your weekly meetings or bi-weekly meetings, there should be no surprises in your quarterly and your annual performance reviews. But use this time to review their performance, assess their skills, see where they need to have improvement, decide what sales training they need to go to for skills improvement, and more importantly, set the goals for the next quarter and the next year. And if the person is not responding, that's also the time to put a performance improvement plan in place. If you need to, let the person know that things have to happen differently, or they won't be able to keep their job. So make sure you do that with discipline. And again, I'm not talking about a top-down, heavy, HR-driven program, but just sit down and talk with your people regularly so that they know how they're doing and you know how they're doing, and you have agreement or at least clear communications as to what's good and what's bad performance and what's acceptable. So number 7, moving forward, not having a CRM system or not using it effectively. A lot of small businesses, they CRM, what's that? It's a customer relationship management system, which is software that allows you to track all of your prospects, all of your customers, all of your interactions with them. And they're not expensive. There's several of them on the market, and you need to be careful to pick the one that fits your business. But the most important thing is to have it, to use it consistently and effectively with discipline. And that forms the basis for a lot of other things that is going to make your business successful. Number 6, and this follows on from having your CRM system, is having, the number 6 problem is not doing sales forecasting. And so if you have your CRM system, you know where all of your prospects are in the sales process. You know how they're moving forward, what has to be done, and then you can forecast from that what sales you're likely to get when. So you have this many customers at this stage, and it's a 50% probability, and this many customers at this stage, and it's an 80% probability. You build your forecast on that, you know what's going to happen, and you can manage on that basis. Now, you need to be careful building your forecast, building your rewards, that you reward your sales representatives for being accurate and honest with their forecasting and not sandbagging you.
Wow. That is the first 5. And we've seen most of these now where we're getting to the biggest issues that affect nearly every business owner. What are the top 5 reasons for disappointing sales teams' performances?
Okay, number 5, improper sales staffing, not having the right people and the right skills in the right roles. So sales positions are not all the same. You have people that are focused on inside sales and lead generation. You have people that are focused on outside sales and closing. You have some people that are more focused on existing customers versus new customers, sort of your classic farmers versus hunters. And you have maybe people that are focused on different market segments. So hire someone with the right skills for the particular role they're filling, and that includes sales manager. A lot of business owners are managing the sales teams themselves, and sales management is not their expertise. It takes a good salesperson to manage salespeople, but not all good salespeople are good managers. But you need someone with sales management skills and knowledge and expertise. You either hire someone or use a fractional expert, such as someone from Sales Acceleration, with the skills and experience to help you, keep your sales team performing at peak levels. Number 4, not having a clearly defined sales metrics. If you're training for a marathon, you need to run 26 miles. You don't just randomly pick numbers out of a hat and say how much you're going to run every day, and so when you get to the race, you'll be able to run 26 miles. No, you have a plan, you have a pace, you learn what pace you can run in order to complete the race. And so sales is kind of like that. You have to set goals, intermediate goals. So if you want to get to here, you want this many millions of dollars in sales, what things have to happen to make that happen? So how many customer visits have to happen? How many proposals have to happen? How many emails, how many calls have to happen? So you set up these metrics for all of your sales representatives. You know what good and bad performance looks like. You communicate that to your people, and so you can adjust before it's too late. So pace your team for success. Number 3, not having a defined sales process. And we've talked about this in some of our previous episodes. So you start with understanding your customer's buying process. What stages does your customer go through? What communications happen? What information do they need? What information do you need at what stages? To take the customer from a prospect to a purchasing decision. So what has to be accomplished at each step? Document that, align your sales process with that, and then have everybody using the same terminology, the same definitions as to what those stages are of your sales process. And you use that back in your CRM system. So again, you have the consistent definitions. You know, when a customer moves from stage 4 to stage 5, what things have to happen, who has to do what by when to move that customer forward. So that defines your approach to sales, it defines your forecasting, it defines your understanding of what has to happen with the customer so they don't fall through the cracks. Okay, now we're on to number 2. compensation plan. We spent a couple of weeks talking about this in previous sessions. So your compensation plan doesn't incent the correct behavior. Salespeople are simple. They will focus on the activities that generate the most rewards for them. So design your plan to incent the things that you want them to do. Is it just top-line revenue, or do you need people as a corporate objective to focus on bringing in new customers, to focus on increasing your revenues from existing customers, to focus on driving price increases, to focus on launching a new product? So design your plan to give incentives for the behaviors that you want to achieve, and be sure to provide a large upside for the win-win, because your best salespeople will not only start looking at what they have to do to achieve 100%, but what they have to do to get 120 or 150%. So make sure there's a huge upside, and you will like writing those bonus and commission checks to your people that deliver well above their goals. And having that out there helps you to acquire and retain top sales talent.
Absolutely. You know, these are all important issues that owners have to get right from the beginning. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty. Drum roll, please. What is number one?
Okay, number one is not having a shared, detailed business plan. How do you know if you're going to hit your goals unless you have a goal, right? So it's like our marathon analogy, or needing a goal and working toward the goal, or taking your family on vacation. Do you just get in the car and start driving, or do you have a map and a GPS and a route picked out and a destination where you want to get to by a certain time? Most people do that. And sales is the same way. So write your sales plan in detail, in writing, and share it with your team. So you have your company goals, you start with that, you work that down, broken down by individual sales rep goals, product, market, territory, accounts, new versus existing customers. So these are all the things that are priorities for the company. They become priorities for your individual sales representatives, and that creates all of the plan that everybody can work toward. They will all be on the same page and pulling in the same direction. And finally, those goals need to be what we call SMART goals, meaning specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely goals. So write your goals to be SMART goals. And so these 10 things, again, are things that we see every day in sales acceleration as we work with different companies. They're not always easy to do, but they're critical. The companies need to get these things right if they want to have a high-performance sales team and achieve outstanding growth. And it all boils down to having the right people, the right process, and that results in the profits that you want to have.
I guess you've been very clear on how business owners can help fix all these 10 issues with their sales teams. Let us know how you can help us. Give us all your information and let us know how we can get all this started.
Sure. These helping business owners are something that Sales Acceleration does every day. So it's what we do. Give us a call if you want some professional help at 713-588-0169, or look us up on the internet at www.salesacceleration.com. We'd be glad to have a chat and see what your business needs to be successful.
Thank you so much, Chris, and we loved having you here and giving all this information, which is very valuable. Think sales is easy. It's very complicated, and that's why we need the experts, right?